So how do you cultivate your four bodies, which is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, okay, from incompetency to competency? Hi, my name is Solera. I'm a spiritual channel, and I'm also the author of the Life Manual Trilogy, which is a series of texts given to me by the spiritual guides to help humanity move forward and upgrade their consciousness. So today I have a question. This is a question from Andrew, and he's from Kenya. I'm going to start the channeling session for you now. Yes, so we are very, very delighted to answer this question, and this is going to be a bit of a long answer because really you're asking us four questions of how do you improve yourself: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So most people would want to start with sort of their daily material life, but we're going to start with the spiritual, okay? Because your spiritual self is in essence the foundational self. This is why you can think of some people who seem to have everything. They have money, they have fame, they have a relationship, they have like the big house and nice cars that everybody else wants, and then they end up committing suicide, and you're wondering, how is that even possible? Well, it's because they've completely forgotten their spiritual self. So they've gotten really good at their manifesting skills. They do this and they do this and they do this, so they can manifest all the stuff that's on the material plane, but they have realized that they don't have any sense of purpose, and they feel sort of they feel like they have no hope because they don't actually understand who they are at the core. Okay, so we can promise you this, it's like you can go make frostings all you want, but if you don't make the cake, you're never going to be able to create the life that you want. And the cake in this analogy is actually your spiritual self. So we would say, number one, this is the foundational understanding, and this is also the basis of your life. So you must tap into and connect to this spiritual core of yourself in order to have a very happy life in the long term. Okay, now short term, of course, you're just chasing after money, you're chasing after the next girl or boy, you're chasing after stuff, and we say that's fine. It's sort of like your children. Your children go play with sandcastles, and it's totally fine that they play with sandcastles, but you know that when the high tide comes, that sandcastle is going to disappear. Okay, so that's very, very much the same with the physical material things that you try to create. Over time, it will all turn into dust, including you. So now let's move on to the next parts, the materials. You're asking us about the emotional, mental, and physical. So we can address the emotional now. So the emotional body is the body that where you tap into your feelings, your connections with yourself, your connection with other people, how you relate to other people. And very often you struggle in this area very, very much so because you feel like, oh, he's not giving me what I want, and I'm not getting what I want. A lot of times you're not getting what you want from yourself. So in order to develop this emotional aspect, you sort of have to almost talk to yourself daily and ask yourself, how do you feel? You're always expecting your spouse to care about how you feel. You're expecting your friends to care about how you feel. You're expecting your mother and father to care about what you feel. We say, why don't you start caring for how you feel first? Every day when you wake up, you say, how do I feel? And how would I like to feel today? And you're so good at setting your income goals and stuff like this, and writing your ideal partner profile. We say, why don't you set a goal for yourself or how you want to feel? Today I want to feel satisfied. Okay, that is my goal. Today I want to feel happy. Today I want to feel connected. Today I want to feel gratitude. Okay, that should be your number one objective when you wake up in the morning. So if you want to connect to your emotional self, that should be your homework. Okay, so now moving on to the mental self. The mental self is very much about your thinking, logical processing, your thoughts, right? Your thoughts and feelings, they are connected, but they're not quite the same. You have your thoughts. So the mental self is very, very much about what exactly you're thinking. So the thinking, the feeling, they sort of feed off of each other. You feel sad, you have negative thoughts. You have negative thoughts, you feel sad. So we say the thinking mind, okay, also is very important. It's very important for you to tap into and develop and make it stronger. It's like you go to the gym and you work out, okay? You're like, pumping up your muscles and you work out. But we say many of you are very, very weak. And when we say weak, we don't mean like the muscle kind of weak, okay? The muscle kind of weak, you can go to the gym and sort of fix that. When we say the mentally weak, it's sort of like you're not very disciplined about what it is that you are wanting, okay? It's like, oh, I want to get this girl. And then the next day you say, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. I want to have this amount of money. Then you say, oh, but then I don't think I'm worthy of it. Oh, I want to have, be in better shape, have better health. Oh, but, I don't really like going to the gym. It's like you're not focused. Your thoughts are split into two. So say in order to develop the mental body, you need to just learn to be a little bit more disciplined about how you're thinking, what you're thinking. So okay, you check the emotional box, right? Okay, today I want to feel gratitude. Okay, in order to feel gratitude, you need to match up, right? Match that with the mental level. So we say, okay, so I want to feel gratitude today. What are some of the thoughts I need to be thinking? Well, I appreciate the house that I live in. I appreciate the space that I have. Even if you're living in a tiny space, we say appreciate the space you have, because you actually have a space. Versus there are a lot of people in this world who live in the Sahara Africa continent and other major cities that are very, very poor. They don't even have a roof over their head. So when we say be grateful, we don't mean being sort of just be content and have and just like, have no ambition. We say we don't mean it quite like that. Just say thank you, and thank you. I would like more of all the things that are good for me. You see, it's not saying, oh yeah, I should just be grateful and not want anything else. We're not asking you to not want anything. You're going to want a lot of things just based on contrast in life. This is natural, and there's no judgment. We say want all the things you want, okay? But wanting stuff doesn't mean that they're going to come. You have to really feel that the universe is going to be able to provide you with everything that you want, and to start attracting what you call manifestation is to be in a state of gratitude. Just say, oh, thank you. I really appreciate my phone. Thank you. I really appreciate my laptop. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate my cup. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is how we will prep the mental state. And lastly, you ask us about the physical. The physical is very much sort of like some people, because they're sort of stuck in at the spiritual level, mental level, emotional level, then the body is the last thing, right? The body is very dense. You touch it, you can feel it. And it's sick or it's out of shape because you're not aligned on the other level. So what happened is some people, they try to fix the physical level. They're like, I'm going to change my diet. And they go through one diet, another diet, another diet. They say, I'm going to change, my routine. I'm going to go to the gym. They join this yoga class, Pilates class, the kickboxing class. And you'll find very often this is the most difficult area to change, because you're trying to change the most dense level. And that is a level that's hard to move. And what happened is, after you lose all the weight, you might gain it all back, because you haven't changed your mental level, your emotional level, your spiritual level. It's like those levels are not aligned, and so you're expecting the physical level to change. Yeah, you can fix it in the short term. We say it's like people who win the lotteries. They're so desperate, they want the money, and the universe gives them the money, and they lose it all in a couple of years because they haven't shifted the other level. So we say go to the gym all you want, but if you haven't changed who you are, in your spiritual, mental, emotional self, very often your body will also have a difficult time. Maybe you're physically fit, but you're someone who gets sick, every 6 months because you're not aligned, you're too stressed. And maybe you look actually pretty thin, but you actually have a high cholesterol. This channel, she used to have very high cholesterol when she was not aligned in her profession. And she would go to a doctor, they're like, yep, high cholesterol, but she looked like she's had this perfect body. So it has nothing to do with just the shape. Okay, sometimes, yes, you're just born with a certain shape, but of course you can train it. You can tell yourself, okay, I'm going to eat less and go to the gym more. But it is important that you recognize fixing the physical level is not just going to change you and improve your happiness overnight. You need to also follow with the other 3 levels. So we're very happy, and we are very grateful to the person who asked this question, because it is very important that you understand how these levels within the body works. Okay, when we say spiritual level, really it's your soul, right? Your connection to the divine. We say that is your bread and butter. And most of you don't treat that as your bread and butter. You go about it sort of like in the reverse way. You chase after money, you chase after relationship, you chase after a fit body, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have everything and I'm not happy. And it's because you've forgotten your bread and butter. Okay, so we say today, just let the information sink in. We're not asking you and we're not expecting you to be perfect and to fix everything all at once, because just having information, you may be feeling very overwhelmed, just like, how am I going to fix everything? I've got 2 kids running around in the house and I'm very overwhelmed. We say that's fine. Just let the information sink in and absorb, because as we are transmitting through the channel, we're also transmitting the vibration to you to help you heal. So the more you absorb the messages through video or through writing that the channel offers, and through whatever mediums that she offers, you'll be able to sort of absorb, and over time, just by osmosis, you will start to get better and better and better. Okay, so with that, we will close the reading for today. Okay, hold on, I need to drink some water. Okay, guys, I learned a lot myself. Thank you to Andrew, who asked a question. I'm very amazed by their answer all the time, even though, I do talk to them a lot, to the guides, and I'm very lucky to have their guidance. I wouldn't have the life that I have today, because I was very stuck on kind of like on all levels, for many, many years. And it's true, I had very high cholesterol for a while, because I was in a job that I was very unhappy with, and so I had very high stress levels. So I would go to the doctor, my cholesterol level, went through the roof, and I didn't even like eat egg yolks or anything like that. So yeah, so once I shifted that, everything started to come back to normal. With that, I'm gonna say bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.